counted
power
as cargo.
had an interest in keeping
They were
the trade
already
alive.
living full human lives. They were
That
sons and
demand
daughters,
reached actual
parents
human
and spouses,
lives through violence
farmers,
close to home.
fishers, traders, artisans,
People entered the trade in
laborers,
different ways.
soldiers, and
Some
children.
were taken in raids.
Growing
Some
up
were
inside
seized in
communities
war.
shaped by language,
Some were
memory,
kidnapped.
hierarchy,
Some were
and
pulled
place.
into slave trading networks through
They
local
belonged to
systems
societies
that enlarged
across West and
Atlantic
West
demand.
Central Africa, long before
Captives were
Atlantic
forced
merchants
from
reduced
inland
them to
regions
property
toward the
for
coast
sale.
in chains, often
That
over long
matters
distances,
because the word slave
under conditions many
can
did not
flatten the
survive.
story if it
At
arrives too
forts
early.
and coastal holding points,
Those taken were
human
not born
beings were
for
confined,
shiploads or plantation
inspected,
fields.
sorted,
They
and
had
bargained
names
over
before they were
being
renamed.
sold into an Atlantic
They
market.
had obligations
waiting
before
for
they
them.
were owned. They
African
had futures
participation
before
in this
those
process
futures were
was
broken
real,
open by force.
and any honest account has to say
The Atlantic
so.
slave trade did not create
But it was
these
not the
lives.
whole structure.
It interrupted them.
The trade
seized
became
them,
as large as it
and
did
tried to
because
turn
local
them into
capture,
property.
coastal exchange, European shipping,
The trade
plantation
expanded
demand,
because powerful
and
interests
imperial
across the
commerce
Atlantic
locked
found
together.
it useful.
Without
Plantation
that wider
economies
structure,
in the Americas
the scale would not
demanded
have
labor
become
because
what it
crops
was.
like sugar and tobacco
Some
and later
African
cotton
rulers saw the danger
brought
clearly.
huge profits.
In the 16th
Colonists,
century,
merchants, and
Afonso
investors
I of
wanted
Congo
workers they
wrote to
could
the
control
Portuguese
as
crown
cheaply
complaining
and as
that traders
completely
were
as
taking
possible.
free people from his kingdom
Ship
and
owners,
tearing his
traders,
society.
financiers, and imperial
His
states
protest
all
matters
had
because it
reasons to
shows
keep
that the
bodies
violence
moving
of the
across
trade
the
was
ocean.
not hidden from everyone.
Trade routes linked Europe,
Even while some
Africa,
profited from
and
it,
the Americas
others could
in a
already see
repeating
the
commercial
damage it was
chain.
doing.
European goods moved
The
toward
Middle
African
Passage was
coasts.
the crossing where captivity
Captives
became
were forced toward
organized
Atlantic shipping
degradation.
points.
Below deck,
Plantation
people
produce
were
and mineral
confined
wealth
in heat,
moved outward.
stench, sickness, thirst,
On parts of the
fear,
African coast,
and suffocating air.
trade goods,
Chained into
especially
spaces
firearms,
designed to carry as many
intensified
bodies as
bargaining,
possible, not to
rivalry,
preserve human
and
dignity.
violence.
Many had little
The
idea
cruelty was
where
not
they were
random.
being taken.
It grew
Some
because the
believed they were
rewards
being
were
carried
high.
toward death.
The demand kept rising.
Some tried to refuse food.
Too many people with wealth
Some
and
tried
power
to throw
had
themselves
an
into
interest
the
in
sea.
keeping the trade alive.
Olaudah Equiano later described
That
being forced
demand
below
reached
deck
actual human
into a
lives
place
through
so foul
violence
and
close to
crowded
home.
that he became sick
People
almost
entered the
immediately
trade in different ways.
and wished for death.
Some were
instead.
taken in raids. Some
Testimony
were seized
like
in
that
war.
matters because it cuts
Some were
through
kidnapped.
distance and abstraction.
Some were pulled into slave trading
crossing
networks
was not
and
simply
local
movement
systems
across
bent
water.
and enlarged by
It was
Atlantic
terror,
demand.
disorientation,
Captives were
punishment,
forced from
disease,
inland regions
and
toward the
calculated
coast in
coercion.
chains, often over
Crews
long
used force
distances,
to keep people
under
alive
conditions
long enough
many
to be
did not
sold.
survive.
Many died.
At
in the
forts
passage.
and coastal holding points,
But even survival
human
was not
beings were
risky.
confined, inspected,
Survival
sorted,
meant arrival at the
and
point
bargained
where the
over
trade
before
intended
being
to
sold
use
into
them.
an Atlantic market already waiting for them.
On the far side of the
African
Atlantic,
participation
people
in
were
this
sold
process
again.
was real, and
Bodies
any
were
honest account
inspected,
has to say
priced,
so.
sorted, and assigned
was not the
according to
whole
what buyers
structure.
believed they could extract
The
from
trade
them.
became as large as
The
it
great
did because
majority
local
were sent to
capture,
the Caribbean
coastal
and
exchange,
Brazil,
European
where
shipping,
plantation labor
plantation
absorbed
demand,
enormous
and
numbers of
imperial
enslaved
commerce
Africans.
locked together.
Others were
Without
forced
that
into
wider
mines,
structure,
households,
the scale would not have
workshops,
become
and other
what it
forms
was.
of colonial labor.
Some African
British
rulers
North
saw the
America
danger
was part
clearly.
of this history, but it
In the
was not
16th
most of it.
century, Afonso I of
the
Congo
rule was the
wrote to the
same.
Portuguese crown
A
complaining
person's
that
value
traders
was
were
measured
taking
by
free
how much
people
labor
from his
could be
kingdom
taken from them.
and tearing his society
Families
apart.
could be split apart at sale.
His protest
Work
matters
was
because it
relentless.
shows that the violence of the
Punishment
trade
was
was
ordinary.
not hidden from everyone.
Injury, sexual abuse,
Even while some
exhaustion,
profited
and
from
early
it,
death were
others
built
could
into
already
the
see the
regime.
damage it was doing.
The trade also reached into the next generation.
The Middle Passage was the
Children
crossing where
born to
captivity
enslaved
became
women could
organized
inherit enslaved
degradation.
status,
Below
allowing
deck,
exploitation
people were
to
confined
continue
in
through birth
heat,
as well
stench,
as purchase.
sickness, thirst,
The crossing
fear,
had not delivered
and
people out of
suffocating air.
danger.
Chained into
delivered them
spaces
into the
designed to
trade's
carry as
purpose.
many bodies as possible, not to preserve human
A
dignity.
system this profitable could
Many
not
had little
survive
idea
by
where
force
they were
alone.
being taken.
It also
Some
needed
believed they
ways
were
to
being
defend
carried
itself.
toward death.
Religious
Some tried to
arguments,
refuse food.
legal categories,
Some tried
racial
to throw
thinking, and
themselves
property
into the
law
sea.
helped make
Olaudah
domination appear
Equiano
permissible to
later
the
described
societies
being
that
forced
benefited
below
from it.
deck into a place
Human
so foul
beings
and
had to be
crowded
made to seem
that
less
he
than
became
fully
sick
human,
almost immediately
so that sale,
and wished for
punishment,
death instead.
forced labor, and
Testimony
inherited
like that
status
matters
could be
because it
treated
cuts
as
through
ordinary
distance
parts of
and
economic
abstraction.
life.
The crossing
Over
was not
time,
simply movement
the language
across water.
hardened.
It was terror,
Difference became
disorientation, punishment,
Hierarchy became
disease,
doctrine.
and calculated coercion.
What had to be defended in
Crews
practice
used
was then
force to
ended
keep
in
people
law
alive
and
long
in
enough to be
ideas.
sold.
These
Then you
arguments
died
did
in the
more than
passage.
explain the trade.
But even
They helped
survival was
protect
not
it.
rescue.
They helped
Survival
keep conscience
meant
from
arrival at the
interrupting
point where the
commerce.
trade
They
intended
helped
to use
powerful
them.
societies explain why some lives could be bought,
On the far side of the Atlantic,
inherited,
people were
and
sold
spent in the
again.
service of wealth.
Bodies were inspected, priced,
The trade
sorted,
never moved
and
forward
assigned
without
according to what
resistance.
buyers believed they could extract from
Resistance
them.
took many forms.
The great majority were
Revolt
sent to
on
the
ships,
Caribbean and
escape
Brazil,
from plantations,
where plantation
sabotage,
labor absorbed
refusal,
enormous numbers of
survival,
enslaved Africans.
testimony,
Others
and the
were forced
preservation of
into
self under
mines,
conditions
households,
designed to
workshops,
erase it.
and other forms of colonial
Enslaved
labor.
people were not passive matter.
British
inside
North
this history.
America was part of this history,
They fought it in ways large
but it was
and
not
small,
most of it.
visible and hidden.
Everywhere, the rule was the
Resistance
same.
also changed the
Persons
Atlantic.
value was measured by how much
In
labor could be
Saint-Domingue,
taken from them.
Toussaint Louverture
Families could
emerged
be
from
split
slavery
apart
to
at
become one of the central
Work
leaders
was
of the Haitian
relentless.
Revolution.
Punishment was
The
ordinary.
successful slave revolt.
Injury, sex
फिर उसको बोला था भाई ग्रैंड बना के
It's
अपना
not
बना
just
death.
बंदा तो ऐसा तो
It stands as proof that the people
Trade
trapped
also
inside
reached
this
into the
system
next
were not
generation.
only its
क्या
victims,
बोलूं उसको अभी मैं करने बैठा प्रेस
Enslaved
तो
could
एक
inherit
प्रेस का
enslaved
काम था
status, allowing
Opposition to the trade
exploitation to
also
continue
widened
through
over
birth
time.
as well as purchase.
Britain abolished its
The
slavery.
crossing had not delivered people out of
And
danger.
slavery in most of its empire.
It had delivered them into the trade's
1933.
purpose.
The United States ended
A
slavery.
system as profitable could not survive by force
Brazil
alone.
ended in 1888.
It also needed ways to
But
defend
the ending
itself.
was uneven.
Religious arguments, legal categories,
trafficking continued.
racial thinking, and property
Formal
law
abolition did not
helped
restore
make
the dead,
domination appear
reunite
permissible
the
to the
broken,
societies that
or undo
benefited
the
from
racial
it.
order and economic
Human
damage
beings had to be
that
made to seem
centuries
less
of
than fully
organized
human,
exploitation
so that sale,
already deepened.
punishment, forced
Trade
labor,
ended in law
and inherited status
before it ended in
could be treated
consequence.
as ordinary parts of economic life.
Atlantic slave trade
Over
reveals
time,
more than
the
the
language
existence of
hardened.
cruelty.
Difference
It
became
reveals what
hierarchy.
becomes possible when
Hierarchy
commerce,
became
empire, law,
doctrine.
and power all
What had to
agree
be
that
defended
human
in
beings
practice
can
was
be
then
turned into
defended in
value.
law and in ideas.
Ports prospered.
These arguments did more
Plantations
than explain the
expanded.
trade.
Merchants,
They helped
investors, and
protect
states
it.
accumulated wealth.
They helped keep conscience from interrupting
growth was
commerce.
tied to
They
forced
helped
transport,
powerful societies
broken
explain why
kinship,
some lives could be
bodily
bought,
destruction,
disciplined,
demographic
inherited,
damage,
and spent in the
long
service of
hardening
wealth.
of racial hierarchy across the
The trade never moved forward without resistance.
This was not a tragic side.
Resistance took many forms.
It was one of
Revolt
the
on
ways
ships,
Atlantic wealth and
escape
power
from
were built.
plantations, sabotage,
The ships
refusal,
carried people,
survival,
but they also
testimony,
carried a truth that
and the
outlived
preservation of self under conditions
entire
designed
systems
to
can be
erase it.
organized around human
Enslaved
degradation,
people were
and
not
enough
passive
profit
matter
depends
inside
on it.
this history.
And the
They fought
damage
it in
such
ways
systems
large
leave
and
behind
small,
does not
visible
end when the
and
ships
hidden.
stop sailing.
Resistance also changed the Atlantic world politically. In Saint-Domingue, Toussaint Louverture emerged from slavery to become one of the central leaders of the Haitian Revolution, the most successful slave revolt in modern history. His importance is not just symbolic. He stands as proof
Did you
that
know
the
that
people
there's a
trapped
system
inside
running the
this
world,
system were not
controlling
only its
everything from
victims,
prices to
they were
energy
also
to government
true
policy?
challengers.
No, it's not the
Opposition
banking
to the
system.
trade also
It's
widened
not
over
the stock
time.
markets. It's the
Britain
petrol
abolished
dollar.
its slave trade
For
in
over 50 years, it's been
and slavery
shaping
in
our
most of
world.
its empire in 1833. The United States ended slavery in 1865. Brazil ended
So,
it in 1888.
what is the petrodollar?
But the ending was uneven.
To understand the
When it came late,
petrodollar,
illegal
we first need to
trafficking
understand
continued.
why oil is so
Formal
important.
abolition did not restore the
We
dead,
use oil to fuel our
reunite the
cars,
broken,
planes
or
and
undo
ships,
the racial order
to
and
transport
economic
people
damage
and goods
that
around our
centuries
countries
of
and around
organized
the globe.
exploitation
We use
had
it to
already
make
deepened.
plastics.
The
In some
trade ended in
countries,
law
we use it to
before it
produce
ended in
electricity.
consequence.
We even use it to manufacture
Atlantic
chemicals,
slave trade reveals more
fertilizers,
than the
and
existence
many
of
other
cruelty.
everyday products.
It
Our
reveals
modern
what becomes
economy
possible
depends on
when
oil
commerce,
for
empire,
basically
law, and
everything.
power
Because
all
oil is so
agree that human
important,
beings can be
countries are
turned into
constantly
value.
buying and selling it.
Ports
Some
prospered.
countries produce a lot of oil,
Plantations
like
expanded.
Saudi Arabia.
Merchants,
Others
investors,
use a
and
lot
states
but don't
accumulated
produce
wealth.
much, like Japan.
But that growth
This
was
creates a
tied to
massive
forced
global
transport,
oil market.
broken
So,
kinship,
how did
bodily
the US
destruction,
dollar come to
demographic
control
damage,
this global
and
market?
the long hardening
To understand
of racial
this,
hierarchy
we need to go back
across the
to World War
Atlantic.
II.
This was not a tragic side effect of trade.
At the end of the war,
It was
While
one of the
most
ways
of the world
Atlantic
lay in
wealth and
ruins,
power were built.
the US emerged with its economy and manufacturing base intact.
But they also carried a
This
truth
led to
that
countries
outlived
agreeing
them.
to make the US dollar the
Entire
center
systems can
of the
be
global
organized
financial
around human
system
degradation
at the
when
Bretton
enough
Woods
profit
Conference of
depends on it.
1944.
And the
This
damage
would
such
be a new
systems
world
leave
order,
behind does not
backed
end
by
when
the
the ship
US
stops
dollar.
sailing.